Hey, what's up, guys? It's Graham Hayes. Welcome back to the shop tonight. Just want to jump on here and do a little quick, real short video. Once again, just trying to show people, if you're one of those people that, loves racing or, even working on old cars, and, this is something everyone's gonna have to deal with sooner or later. So we're gonna jump into it. This is gonna be about how to fit. You can use this with any body panel, deck lid, hood, any sort of panel you're going to Zeus on or anything like that. But this is going to be what I think is the best way to fit this hood in particular is what I'm working on tonight. But like I said, you can use this for anything. Here, so I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to flip this thing around and show y'all what's up. All right, guys. So like I said, just wanted to show y'all this. In the middle of doing this out here tonight, kind of in a hurry, getting ready to go do some testing. But I'm fitting the hood on the old Nova, so we fitted a couple different hoods to this thing. This is the same hood we had at Sick Week. We just had to take it off and do some work to it. The air was getting up under the front lip and was splitting it right here across the front. So we reinforced that. It's got Zeus's here, or they're not Zeus's, but I'll show you that in a second. But more or less Zeus's there, and it's got a bunch down the side. But it's got a bunch down the sides, but anyway, we were still getting air up under there. We're still working on our grill block off since the rules for Ultimate Iron won't let you run a block off in front of the grill. You have to run it behind the factory grill location. So we're gonna work on ours and make it a little better for the next time we go out. But with that being said, this is what's up. So this is the way I do it. I use these poppers. They're pretty, you see them a lot. I use this method with Zeus's too. But these poppers are what I like for my hood. The hood literally comes on and off every time the car stops. So we do it all the time. I just got tired of, everyone losing Zeus tools and then, getting to the line, someone needing one, fiddling around, whatever. So we switched to these poppers. I've had pretty decent luck with them. I like them. You're definitely gonna get, so you can see they're self-ejecting. They go right off, they click right back down. You're always gonna get somebody that doesn't like them, but that's everything in this world. So do what makes you happy. But these use a stud, and you end up drilling about a 1-inch hole in your hood or in whatever panel you're using them on. And the way that I do it, I put this tape down the side, and I take this square and I square off my fender to the hole. So as you can see right there. But when I do it, I mark on this yellow tape here, and then I flip my square over and hook it on the inside of the fender and scribe me a line. And I go do that for everything all the way around, even the ones up top. And then I do, as you can see right here, and as all these have too, I write my measurement of how far off the edge, to the center of the stud. If you're using a Zeus, this would be the center of your Zeus hole. At that point, you can take your hood. I laid this on here. I played around with it. I ended up having to do a little cutting on it. So it's a good time to do it when it's in primer. But I cut this edge all the way a little bit, opened this thing up a little more, and I made it fit just a little better. And after that, I got 2 of them on here to secure exactly where I want it, to keep the thing from moving around on me. The whole time I'm doing this, I have my burst panel hole cut in it. So I got that line back up how I want it. And then at that point, guys, it's super easy. You just take your square and lay it on your squared line. Scribe you a line across there. Continue this for everybody on the whole hood. And then pull over, make sure you butt your paint. So you're gonna butt your paint and pull over. There you go, 15/16. I'm gonna go drill about an 1/8 inch hole in every single one of these. And then we'll come back, lay the hood back on here again. And then at that point, we'll be able to look through the hole and see if we like how centered it is. If we need to go off center from our original hole just a little bit, we still can, because we got 7/8 to play with. So I'm gonna go run do that, and I'll keep you all updated to what's going on. All right, so we got our first holes drilled in here, and you you can see they're pretty close. I'm running a little inside on this side. The back one hit pretty good, a little down, but not bad. And these things have some play in them, so the bottoms of them are tapered, and they'll line them up for you. Plus, you can also that one's gonna work. So come down side. So I'll mark this one. Here's my handy dandy pencil. I'll mark this one needs to come down. So that one needs to come over, but the rest of them will be fine. But these things have a little, the bottom of them is kind of tapered. It's kind of hard to see, but it's actually a really little ball, and it's a pretty big hole. It's tapered in there. So as long as you, not saying as long as you get within there, but typically, you know, they don't have to be absolutely perfect. So I got these to knock out real quick. I'll put all my little pins on, or all my little poppers on, and then I got two in the front. I got to work those out. So. Alright guys, so there it is. I got it on there. I'm going to run through and do just a little demonstration here. So I'm going to take this thing off and then, you know, pick it up, set it back on, go through it just so you can see. But what I wanted to kind of tell you guys, the biggest thing about these things is they sell the American ones on Amazon. I would definitely recommend getting the American ones. I like American made stuff just in general. And on the other hand of that, you know, maybe it's a little better, maybe not. You can argue that in the comments or whatever. So, but what I wanted to show you guys is that the most annoying thing about these, unlike a Zeus, they'll fall back on. So when you take your hood off, you can see I've already done this one, but it went back on. So typically what I do is once I get the side off like that, I'll kind of tilt it. Same thing with this one. This back corner seems to be, you know, kind of the worst of the deal. Two people makes this no problem at all. I can do it by myself, you know, but it does take an extra second to do just because it's, you know, they will lock back. So there you go, it's off. Obviously I still got to do some body working onto it, but it goes right back on, no problem. I do have to do some adjusting on some of these, but for the most part, they're pretty good. So once you get it on there, you can just simply walk around and lock her down. One thing I will tell you with any fiberglass, see, like this one's too low, so it needs to come up some, but it will go on there. But what I will tell you with any fiberglass or any carbon, any composite, steel doesn't do it so bad, but especially on a hood, deck lid doesn't do it so bad, but on a hood, this thing's gonna get hot. And all the resin, all the body work, everything has been done to it. I don't care if it's carbon fiber, if it's fiberglass, whatever. These things are gonna move around. Not so bad, you know, in and out, but sometimes in and out, it's gonna try to do a little warp to it. The bigger the hood scoop you have, the better, just because it gives it some, you know, some structure in the middle, but out here on these edges, this thing's gonna try to peel. These are the 1-inch, I believe. I'm gonna grab a bag here in a minute and show you. I got some extra ones in the trailer just in case one fails, but I've never had a failure with them, and we've had some of these things that, you know, were not aligned very good at one point, and we put some abuse on them for sure. But these are the 1-inch. I've got 6 per side. Probably overkill for most cars. This car will run, you know, mid 230 in the quarter, maybe a little faster than that when we get back out. But it definitely has a lot of, you know, a lot of air up under it. This car has been picked up, you know, I'm gonna put the picture in here, but I've toted the front wheels of this car across the quarter mile from air getting under the hood. That was before we had a grill block off, and it actually picked the front end of the car up and ripped the hood off. But when it ripped the hood off, this is what I wanted to get at, it actually pulled these through the fiberglass There's a fiberglass hood on it. It pulled every one of these either through the fiberglass or it actually pulled the tab off the fender. It bent the cowl up probably 3 or 4 inches. It messed up a lot of stuff, and it pulled the radiator support up about 2 inches, and it did a lot of damage. So they're strong is what I'm saying. So they work really good. I'm really happy with them. It's probably a toss-up between these and the Zeus's. It's just what you want to deal with. I will say, if you take your time and make these right, these are a good option in my opinion. But like I said, it's an opinion just for that. So I'm gonna grab one of these, and I'll put a picture on here so you guys can get the exact same ones if you want the exact same ones. No sponsorship or anything like that. I pay for them just like everybody else, but they are, good, and I've been really happy with them. And then, like I said, guys, just wanted to show you all that. This stuff can be kind of intimidating. You take a couple $100 piece of body and you go to put it on your car and you don't want to mess it up, and you take it to somebody else and think they're going to do a good job and they mess it up and you're not happy. Some of the stuff like this, if you've got a little know-how, a little time, a little knowledge, it's kind of better to do it yourself in my opinion. No one's going to make these things 1000% perfect. Or I shouldn't say no one, but it'd be very expensive to find someone who's going to make these things absolutely perfect. You're better off to kind of do it yourself, especially if you're in a smaller town and you got a little time on your hands. So with that being said, guys, thank y'all for joining us out here in the shop tonight. Hopefully we'll be out soon with this thing. We'll take a couple videos and keep everybody updated on how it's going. With that being said, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Just wanted to add this in here, guys. This thing is back on 275s, back home where she belongs. So 275s on, rear gears changed, transmission changed, and so we're gonna get this thing put together, and we're gonna go down there and play with the big boys in the quarter-mile racing heads up on 275s. It's gonna be some fast cars there. I hope we're one of them. So with that being said, we'll keep you all updated on how the testing goes and how the car is coming. So we've been cutting weight out. We've been trying to get this thing ready, doing all sorts of stuff. So we'll probably do a video at some point about all the stuff we changed in between sick week and going to do this. So with that being said, guys, once again, thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.